Hello, everyone. Um, Welcome to this race already in progress between GrosHiken and TGH. My name is Artie Walsh V. I'm a little bit late to this, but some voice is better than no voice, I would hope. So yeah, we see these racers are already pretty well through the game right here. And y'all let me know if my mic sounds okay. Like I said, just hopped in. But anyway, so we're here. We're kind of in the most important part of the run right now, or one of the most important parts of Celestial Resort. Obviously, this is very hard level. We're going to be seeing a lot of tight movement through cycles. So yeah, we're going to give you a little bit of background on the race. This is a best of one race. This is actually the top 8 of our upper bracket. So whoever moves on from this race will be moving on into the overall top 8, at which point the matches will switch over to best of 3, I believe. So yeah, on the left we have GrosHiken, 32XX if I remember correctly, TGH with a 2947. And yeah, we're seeing both of them moving through really well so far. TGH just being a little bit faster through this first part of Resort. Yeah, so we see TGH moving really nicely through this huge mess maze section. Yeah, like a lot of the most important movement parts in this game are kind of the stuff where there's no real risk of dying. You're just trying to like get through as fast as possible. We also see some really great movement out of GrosHiken on this part of the level. This is like one of my favorite parts of the run to watch. It's like a really short, it's like a kind of long short, somewhere between those two. Yeah, it's like a short but sweet kind of part of the chapter here where you just kind of move through quickly. And now we have GrosHiken starting the first section of Huge Mess, getting a little bit hung up on that first cycle as TGH moving through. Didn't have any hitches that I was able to notice, and yeah. All right, and to answer a question about the tournament format in chat, so the top 8, there's no real advantage until the last match, where the winners bracket, when the winners bracket champion and the lower bracket champion meet, the winners bracket champion will get 1 extra win. So they'll have like a 1-win advantage heading into that, but other than that, there's going to be no advantage heading into the best of 3 rounds. All right, now moving on to the race. GrosHiken and TGH both moving through really solid, but TGH just a little bit more solid. Still maintaining that lead of about one of these huge mess sections, so GrosHiken still not that far behind here. Again, like this is Resort. We've seen all sorts of things happen in Resort here. There's definitely opportunities for runners to kind of get caught up here, especially in this section of the level that TGH is just entering, where there's a bunch of really long rooms, a bunch of really good cycles, and also this opportunity. Okay, nice save there. Yeah, missed that key coin on the first try through that screen, but was able to recover, was able to manage their movement nicely, and was able to get that. We'll see how GrosHiken. That could be an opportunity for GrosHiken to make up a little bit of time here if they can kind of get through this screen efficiently. Oh, yeah, they missed the key coin. They have to wait for that dash crystal to respawn, but yeah, they are getting through. TGH in the quad hyper room. Yeah, nice work there. Yeah, GrosHiken making their way through really efficiently, as TGH is going to be the first one to show us the Oshiro section. So yeah, we're all pretty well acquainted with Oshiro right now. Oh, TGH is a little bit off strat there, but able to recover. Very nice. GrosHiken gets that key, hits the reset. Yeah, this Oshiro section, if you're not completely on point with your strats, this can definitely kind of heck you up from time to time here. Yeah, TGH, after that initial minor little stumble, getting through pretty well. Got GrosHiken, they're about to start their own Oshiro section, just a few rooms behind at this point. Alright, GrosHiken on this third screen here as TGH in the last room of Oshiro. As the sun rises in the background, you get this really long room, and you have to really navigate these cycles tightly, but TGH not having any issues at all, gets out of there 8:27 on their file timer. Really, really nice work for them. I know, I said heck, I showed up late, I'm just ruining everyone's day here. I'm very sorry for everything that I'm doing here. So we got GrosHiken moving through these last few screens here, and this is going to be very crucial for their chances. A little bit slow getting through the dash crystals, didn't have the full thing, had to take just a little bit of time to wait for Oshiro to kind of advance through so that they could clear the screen where they knew they were safe, and also a couple hiccups on this last screen here. Again, taking it a little bit aggressive in certain spots, playing it a little bit safe in other spots, but gets through that screen. That's really all you want to do, and they are out a 9:04 on their timer. All right, so now we got TGH start here on Golden Ridge, where there's like a couple really precise like, you know, tricks that you got to do, like that thing TGH did where he just like jumps out of that dash bubble like really early so that they can just, like, you know, skip having to float in the air for a little bit. That's insanely hard to get if you're not like really well practiced at it. Like, yeah, this game really takes like a lot of practice to really nail down. Like, I don't know if any of you caught like the file timers in the preamble to this race, but yeah, there's like legendary file times on, like, you know, players like initial casual / practice files. Yeah, well, we got GrosHiken. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, trying to, like, you know, get out of there as fast as possible. If you're like even like a pixel off, you just run to those spikes and you have to like start that room all over again. Yeah, GrosHiken gets it nicely on the second try here. Yeah, great. Shout out to Speed Gaming staff for kind of pulling this all together really quick here. You know, awesome job as always. Now we got TGH. Yeah, making very, very quick progress through Golden Ridge so far. Has to wait for this auto-scroller. You know, there's a little bit of theory that maybe there's like an auto-scroller skip that's kind of thought to be test only. Might be RTA viable one day. Yeah, we never know, but yeah, TGH opting play it safe for now. We got GrosHiken on the conventional auto-scroller skip right here. All right, nicely done. Having a little bit of trouble in Golden Ridge overall so far, so that's allowing TGH to kind of increase the lead that they built up here. Yeah, TGH now starting in on the harsh wind section, dealing with the snowball section really nicely. Yeah, skips 2 springs there, which is really dope. Yeah, and timing their dashes and hyper dashes and all that through that one screen there so that when they get to the end, they know that they'll be able to bounce on the snowball, which is just like insane trust that you have to put in the game in order if you really want to pull that off. And yeah, this is just like a blazing pace through Golden Ridge here. That's going to be like a 245, 246 for the chapter, 1145 overall. Just really nice for them. And GrosHiken still having a nice run for themselves. You know, a couple stumbles early on in this chapter, but yeah, doing very well through this first part of the level. We'll have to see how they handle the snowball section, though, because the snowball section can be a real killer. Ooh. And so can this cycle skip that they're going for. Yeah, they're trying to get this wall bounce coming out of this dash bubble so that they don't have to take that other dash bubble that you saw floating in the middle of the screen there. Yeah, so GrosHiken starting off in the harsh wind section. TGH starting Mirror Temple. Gets that really nice reverse hyper off that dash block to avoid having to go into a couple rooms, and GrosHiken moving nicely through the harsh wind. Yeah, and pulling out the same strat as TGH there. Really well done, really well executed. You know, a few stumbles at the early part of the level aside, they're doing really well in the later stages. Oh, TGH looks like they got the full yeet skip right there. Really nice. All right, so GrosHiken closes out Golden Ridge with a 12:19. TGH almost done with the first part of Mirror Temple, and they'll be moving on to the secret section shortly, about the same time as GrosHiken starts their Mirror Temple Soldier. Alright, TGH gets to the Seeker tutorial. So yeah, Seekers in this game, if you're new to a Celeste run and you're not really familiar with some of the mechanics, Seekers are kind of like they're an enemy and they can kind of feel like RNG, but they're completely manipulatable. So a lot of what you're going to be seeing TGH and later GrosHiken pull off in this screen, or on these screens, are, ooh, GrosHiken kind of dashing under that block there, kind of regrettable. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to be seeing TGH moving very precisely through these screens so that they're manipulating the Seeker behavior. So yeah, getting the Seeker to dash through the key coins and making the Seeker move so that the Seeker just kind of neutralizes itself and just takes itself out of the equation, getting that Ultra Dash to just bop that Seeker into that key coin. Yeah, the unraveling section has some really cool movement and also has this really nerve-wracking screen. It's very long. We have to activate all 5 of these key coins while also having to deal with this Seeker that's going to be reactivated and appearing on screen again here. TGH, not having any real issue with that. Yeah, really nice unraveling for them, and GrosHiken is about to start their own unraveling here. Alright, GrosHiken makes it through the Seeker tutorial screens, which is just like a, I don't know, I'd like to talk about the design of this game just because like I'm into game design, but that's like a really innovative and unique way to kind of introduce you to a mechanic. But all things aside, TGH is about to start the Theo section, and we're going to be seeing a lot of Theo Ultra. So an Ultra Dash in this game is when you cancel already fast movement with a Hyper Dash. So basically like the simplest way to kind of comprehend it is you're kind of chaining a Hyper Dash with another Hyper Dash. So kind of like at the end of that screen there, you saw TGH do a very quick Hyper Dash, and then once they hit the ground, they just immediately launch into another Hyper Dash, and that gives you really fast movement, especially with Theo, because the Theo Crystal, we can't dash with it, but if we catch it in mid-air, we retain like our initial momentum, and we also get a minor little speed boost, and we're seeing TGH kind of use that to full effect like all throughout these screens here. This is a really fun section to watch run at like this high level, and TGH minor stumble at the end there, but overall we're really fast through this unraveling section. Oh, takes a death at the end of that screen. Yeah, this is like a longer screen. That Seeker, if you don't neutralize it early or kind of get it out of the way early, that can wreck your day, as we just saw. But TGH recovers well, gets it on second try. Absolutely bounding through this last room here. Yeah, getting out of here with a 1536. So yeah, it would be cool to see world record in a race, but, you know, overall TGH is just worried about, you know, finishing ahead of the other opponent's pace. And GrosHiken, yeah, they're making really nice pace through Mirror Temple so far. Nailed Surf Skip really well, and they're about to start their own Theo Crystal escape section as TGH introducing us to Feathers and their weirdness. Yeah, ordinarily Madeline only moves 8 directions, but Feathers give us full 360-degree range of movement, and you'll see a lot of players that use controllers with an analog stick kind of switch to analog stick to take full advantage of that 360-degree range. Alright, now GrosHiken starting on their own Theo escape section. And again, they're not quite setting up the Theo Ultra Dash, and that's like more than respectable. Like, the faster you go in this game, ooh, gets sniped by that Seeker. Yeah, just couldn't quite deal with it. Yeah, neutralize it this time, just has to like dash out of here quickly. There we go, gets it that time. Yeah, the faster you go in this game, the harder it is to control your character. So it takes like a lot of precise, you know, button pressing to kind of get through that. GrosHiken, lots of movement. Yeah, you can kind of see there, like, was really fast coming into that screen, but, you know, couldn't quite set it up because like their speed just kind of overshot where they wanted to land. So yeah, a couple minor flubs here for GrosHiken in this section, but still getting through this really well. You can definitely see that, like, you know, they have that sub 33 time, which is a really elite time in this game. But TGH is, yeah, they're still doing really well. They're just, you know, doing their thing on the right side of the screen here, but GrosHiken, they're about to get out of Mirror Temple here. So yeah, really well done in this section. Yeah, TGH gets a nice little skip in that screen there. And, oh, going top route, yeah. Yeah, top route is like the only really part of the reflection route that's kind of thought to be maybe a little bit faster. Like there's only like some debate around that part, whereas like everything else it's kind of set in stone. Like, oh, this is almost definitely faster. TGH, yeah, got a couple like really nice bumper boosts that kind of like make it just a hitch faster than the bottom route on that screen. All right, TGH. Talking to her grandma, who does not laugh at us this time. Laughed at us in the other 2 times we talked to her, but not that time, which is nice. Meanwhile, GrosHiken gets leg skip first try. Really well done. TGH going through that dev-intended shortcut, fast falling all the way through it, which again, very difficult. Like it's very precise, and you just have to like really trust that you know this game, that you know the hitboxes of those spikes, and hitboxes in this game are definitely a little bit more intimidating than they may seem at first. Like, there's definitely some parts where we're kind of flirting with them because we know that the entire spike picture there, I can't think of the right word right now, but the entire, like, ooh, right, isn't the whole thing. But yeah, there just lands completely in the hitbox, no debate about that. Setting up battle line boost where you're trying to, like, move as fast as you can through 2 screens, but unfortunately, you kind of lost control at the end a little bit there and just dove into the spikes. So we see TGH is the first into the battle line fight here, and the battle line fight is, again, trying to think of the right word here, the battle line fight is more or less like kind of predictable, I would say. Like, I mean, everything in this game is predictable, again, no RNG. But yeah, here, like in a casual playthrough, like you're just trying to like get to the screen. Really nice ultra dashes on that screen to skip the feather, but yeah, here we're just trying to like get through these screens as fast as possible, like get to that battle line hit as fast as we can. Yeah, it makes really nice use of that dash, but it doesn't just like dash all the way across that screen. Yeah, some of the strats are really cool, and like it's definitely, I would say it might even be like the easiest parts, and because like once you can predict like how all the screens are going down, it's easy to kind of like move through them. But again, nothing in this game is easy. Both runners are doing very good work. This is a very difficult precision platformer that they're playing, and they're just making it look, they're just embarrassing it right now. Like, look at this on TGH's screen, look at GrosHiken's screen, just 2 absurdly talented people doing one of the things that they're able to do best. Yeah, exactly. That's one of the pitfalls of Celeste commentary. Like, I just want to watch this race. I don't know how to like talk about all the stuff that's happening because it's all cool, and I just want to say it's cool. And GrosHiken playing it a little bit safe and not fast falling through that last shortcut. And yeah, that's kind of one of the differences that you'll see between someone like, in that top 10 level and someone who's like, on a 32. And a 32 is still very good, but there's like a few tiny optimizations here and there that they're not exactly going for. But there's optimizations like that on every screen that TGH, with what he wants to do with this game has to go for. So it may save, like a quarter of a second to like half a second, but those will add up over the course of the full game. But yeah, so GrosHiken starting off on the battle line fight themselves. Yeah, TGH making very good work out of reflection, gets that nice ultra dash at the end there to skip one of the lasers. So yeah, that cycle skip is just absurd. And yeah, took a very unfortunate death on the third to last screen here, but jumping up through this double dash tutorial screen really nicely. So yeah, they'll be exiting with a 2140 something, as GrosHiken is, yeah, they're making very solid work of these battle line screens right now. Doing very well with this boss fight. Alright, so TGH starting off on the summit here. So at the end of Reflection, we are now equipped with a double dash, and Summit's level design makes full use of that double dash. Like, we'll see a lot of like really high vertical sections, a lot of rooms without floors, and we're just trying to like, yeah, get through these like, you know, these levels with like a new difficulty, and we're still just trying to like clear it as fast as possible. And like double dash even lets us do like really, like, you know, even more advanced speed tech, as we'll probably see in 1000 with Dream hyper dashes, with Dream block hyper dashes. Yeah, GrosHiken is on the take a very quick death on couple quick deaths on this first screen. Yeah, just kind of getting crushed by the moving platforms there, like just minor little stumbles. And yeah, obviously deaths at the start of screens are a little bit, you're kind of more okay with taking those than deaths at the end of screen. So yeah, GrosHiken recovering nicely, getting through these next couple screens here without a hitch. Meanwhile, TGH is on the Forsaken City remix. Yeah, Summit remixes like all the previous levels that we played and kind of equips them with a double dash. Like, and they go a lot faster than the initial version of the levels, and because like now that we have two dashes, we can just get through them even faster. TGH gets that really nice cycle here from TGH at the end of that room. Meanwhile, GrosHiken also having difficulty with his second to last room in Reflection, but yeah, we're kind of expecting them to just, you know, get back up and just keep on going. You know, they definitely are mountain climbers, contrary to what Battleline tells us in this chapter, and yeah, they'll be getting through. So GrosHiken learning how to use their double dash as TGH in 1000 meters, and yeah, now we're seeing hyper dashes out of these green blocks, and you really only see them like in 1000 meter as opposed to like the single dash cousins. And because whenever you like you go for that hyper dash, you lose one of your dashes, so it doesn't really make sense to go for them when we only have one dash. But here in 1000 meter, when we have two dashes, we use them to clear that section of the level as with like inhuman speed, as TGH just did. So GrosHiken is going to be following up with their summit trip as TGH. Yeah, here in 1500, and 1500 can definitely be a little bit of a run killer here. Yeah, gets through the first long room though, and yeah, you wouldn't know that this is a run killer from how TGH is playing this though. Really nice work. So GrosHiken making very nice work out of the Reflection remix. TGH also really solid through the Celeste Resort remix. Yeah, so GrosHiken keeping a very respectable distance behind TGH. You know, just 3 of these sections behind at this point, which is, you know, still a really solid time. Like, there's a lot of people who are just like absurdly good at this game. Like, this is a community of like a lot of talented people, and they're letting that talent shine right now. So yeah, good job for GrosHiken. TGH getting through that snowball room rather nicely. Now we get this auto-scroller room. Alright, gets the first part of that auto-scroller skip and gets the full skip. Very nicely done. And then that wall bounce that TJ just did there, that's just swag. That doesn't actually save time. You still have to ride the auto-scroller like a little bit of the way of the screen, but the thing that he did at the end was a time saver. So yeah, really nice from TGH so far. GrosHiken also getting through the stage rather well. And TGH using minor little bit of tech here. So usually when you get alley-ooped by Battleline with these orbs here, you kind of hover in the air for a second, but if you just like immediately dash out of that kind of floaty animation, you'll just like immediately dash. So yeah, TGH using that to kind of get out of that screen really as fast as they possibly can. Really nice. And they're on to the Mirror Temple remix, which has a lot of really cool movement and no seekers. So it's like all the cool parts of 2500 with none of the And we get GrosHiken here. A little bit of trouble, got a little bit caught up going for some of the Dream Hypers it looked like, but yeah, recovering nicely, getting through with speed. TGH gets the key skip there, very solid. TGH threads the needle, and we're going for door skip. Of course we are. We have to. We have to. Like, when you can make door skip look like that, why wouldn't you? Saves 9,000 years worth of 1 second, I would say. Like, that 1 second feels very good. And yeah, just has to get through this last screen, and they will be on to 3,000 meters. Meanwhile, GrosHiken on 1500 meter. Yeah, very nice. Gets that triple ultra dash strat. It just looks so cool when you get it. And yeah, they should be getting out of 1500 here very shortly. Says hi to that dog. Oh, misses the wall bounce on this screen though, and yeah, just, you know, has to reset, go for it again, as TGH is already off to the downdraft section where, yeah, we had wind in Golden Ridge in case you didn't notice. You may not have noticed in the ridge sections because we're just dashing so much that the wind is kind of negligible. But here we have wind forcing us down, so we actually have to react to the wind. And you'll see like a lot of wall bounces kind of give us height because, you know, wall bounces kind of cancel out the downdraft effects. And yeah, just like a lot of really fast movements. This is like a very technical portion of the run, but TGH making very short work of it. All right, now on to updraft, which is kind of nerve-wracking because, yeah, we get some very long checkpoints on this screen here. Yeah, usually in this game, like all throughout this game, like checkpoints are kind of demarcated by the screen transitions, but now we just get really long screens with a bunch of checkpoint flags in them, and there's a little bit of imbalance with these checkpoints. Some of them are rather longer than others, and we see TGH getting through the first of those super long checkpoints, flag 14. Now they just have to work with this last one here. Get that diagonal dash, yeah, very solid. Oh, and GrosHiken getting a little bit caught up on this auto scroll skip here. Yeah, you have to time your hyper dash off that block at just the right time, and then you have to like land on that platform. Yeah, it gets it on that try, and I'm very glad that was not a commentator. That was like an example of a commentator's blessing. Like, they kind of failed it when I wasn't looking, but once I did start talking about them, they got it. So I'm going to take credit for that one. Go me. Anyway, TGH wraps up the updraft section, and they're about to start the section where gravity returns to normal, and you just got to finish out the run as fast as you can, and just kind of avoid dealing with nerves, and yeah, just playing the game, dealing with these feathers. And GrosHiken also going to be starting this last screen here, and they're also going to be a little bit of trouble, and yeah, just couldn't save it. Yeah, they weren't able to like get any sort of dash to that wind, and so the wind was not going to be working in their favor. So I don't think there was any way they could save that, and just smartly opting to go for the retry. Meanwhile, we get TGH here on flag 1. Yeah, they are about to finish out this run with just a insanely good time. Yeah, 30:19 for TGH, which is, you know, just a really amazing time to get in a race. Get some GGs in chat for TGH, who will be taking home the victory and advancing through the upper bracket to take on the winner of Moose versus Flatterby. So yeah, GG to Tej, really well done. Alright, so we get GrosHiken here, having a little bit of trouble setting up the key skip, but gets it eventually, and yeah, does some nice little swag dashes into that bubble to kind of cap that off. On GrosHiken, opting not to do door skip. I like that. Who needs that second? Just get through the game. Very nice. Door skip skip, always legendary. And yeah, assuming that they can get through the screen here, they will be moving on to 3,000 meters in the end of their run. So yeah, as mentioned, TGH is going to be moving on through the upper bracket, and they will have a semifinal match between the winner, or a upper bracket semifinal match between either Flatterby or Moose, which is definitely going to be fun. And we're actually going to get more Celeste in that round because that's going to be switching over to a best of 3. So definitely look forward to that. Meanwhile, GrosHiken going to be consigned to the lower bracket, where they will have to wait just a little bit for their next opponent to be decided. There's several matches that have to go, so yeah, hopefully they can just close out this run, and hopefully they can keep practicing and not get too rusty while they wait for previous rounds to kind of close out here. Alright, so we have GrosHiken moving nicely through downdraft, closing that out really well, and we also have TGH in the booth here. How you doing, Teach?
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm doing alright. Just about to wrap up a really nice run there. How do you feel about that 30-19?
It was okay, yeah. It was, I'm obviously very happy with anything around that time in a race, for sure. Some pretty costly deaths, especially in Chapter 6. And one in Chapter 2, but like other than that, it was pretty solid. I think it felt good throughout.
Yeah, definitely very solid, and I don't think I was here for Chapter 2, so it's kind of like it didn't happen, right?
Yeah, for sure. Nobody saw it.
Yeah, exactly. Saw what?
Also, I need to apologize. Apparently, I had my mic on, so I'm sorry if there were audio issues.
Oh no, that's fine. I think we got everything kind of figured out here.
All right, cool.
Yeah, so GrosHiken also making short work of updraft here, and so Teach, next up for you is either going to be Moose or Flatterby. So do you have any thoughts on that, on like your potential matchups who you're going to be facing in the next round?
Whoever it is, I'm looking forward to it for sure. Two really good potential opponents for sure. And yeah, just looking forward to the progression of the tournament for sure.
Yeah, definitely. This tournament's been a really fun watch so far, and yeah, anything can happen in these later rounds. So yeah, we'll definitely be staying tuned for the rest of your runs here.
Definitely. Thank you.
Okay, so we get GrosHiken here on flag 2, just a couple flags away from finishing out this run. Yeah, kind of misdirected their dash off flag 2 there, but again, was able to retry, kind of recognize their mistake, and just get back on that saddle as fast as possible, and on flag 1 now, so they are going to be finishing up shortly here, assuming nothing silly happens. Yeah, we are good. GrosHiken finishing out the race with a 34-34, it looked like. So yeah, get some GGs for GrosHiken. That was a very nice run for them. Oh, 34-35, 0-0-3, almost. Alright, so GrosHiken is welcome to join us in the room here if they wish for an interview. Otherwise, I will take you through the rest of the Celeste tournament happenings here. So yeah, this is going to be the last race for today, and also the last race for tomorrow as well. No races tomorrow. This weekend, though, is looking to be kind of stacked, though. We've got a ton of races planned for Saturday and Sunday, 5 so far, and I think more are going to be coming down the pipeline as runners kind of have to schedule their races to just kind of like, you know, meet tournament requirements here. So yeah, going to be really nice to kind of get through all those. And yeah, since there's no Celeste tomorrow, you definitely want to keep it locked onto Speed Gaming Networks for other speed action here. Load up the schedule here. So yeah, coming up next on Speed Gaming 3, is going to be the Portal Tournament. So yeah, that's definitely going to be fairly interesting here. Otherwise, we also have Ori and the Blind Forest randomizer happening. We got a Super Metroid tournament happening, and always Link to the Past randomizer. So yeah, definitely stay tuned to Speed Gaming 2 through 6 for more great speed content here. All right, so I have not seen GrosHiken come in here quite yet, so I think that they might be declining the interview. So yeah, GG to them. Awesome race. We look forward to watching them in the lower bracket. Congratulations, TGH, for moving on into the upper bracket. Do you have any final thoughts for today, or?
Thank you, and thank you very much for coming on last second for solo commentary. Big kudos for that. Thanks to everyone who is making the tournament possible right now. All the administration, Speed Gaming for hosting, and the viewers for watching, and the runners for running. And just thank you guys all very much. Very much appreciated.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you all for coming out here. Be sure to give both the runners a follow if you haven't already. I've already typed in the command into chat for you. And yeah, thank you guys all for being out here. Hope to see you in future races. And yeah, have great days.